Hello, my name is Alexis Zamuda and I will be doing my presentation on the dugongs. Dugongs come from the kingdom Animalia, the phylum Chordata, the class Mammalia, the order Sirenia, the family Dugongidae, the genus Dugong, and their species name is dugong dugon. Dugongs are diverged from the Afrotheria, which includes elephants, aardvark, golden moles, and tenrecs. The closest living relative of the dugong is not another marine mammal, it is actually the elephant. At one point it was the Steller sea cow, but unfortunately it was hunted to extinction. Dugongs grow to be about 2.4 to 4 meters in length and 230 to 400 kilograms in weight. The males and the females are around the same size and both have tusks. These tusks are generally covered up by their snout. However, after they reach a certain age and older, they are able to peek through a little bit, and that can be seen in the top picture where you can see the tusks coming out of the skull. They have thick, smooth skin that is gray, bronze in colors with sparse hairs over their body. They've got a large, rounded snout that ends in a cleft and that aids in feeding. They've also got whiskers or vibrissae, which are very sensitive and help them feel around for food, and those can be seen on the very bottom picture. They have nostrils located on the top of their head, and they've got a tail that is shaped more like that of a dolphin than that of a manatee, which is more paddle-shaped and round. Dugongs are found in shallow coastal waters of tropical seas and are very seldom found in fresh water. They've also been found in wide, shallow parts of the continental shelf. At one point, they were found from the east coast of Africa to Vanuatu, but now they are mostly found between Shark Bay, Western Australia, and Moreton Bay, Queensland. And the areas where they are found most common are highlighted up on the map in the yellow and red areas. Dugongs are almost exclusively herbivorous. They have been known to eat algae, a variety of seagrasses, which is the main portion of their diet. They've eaten worms, shellfish, which include crabs that have been found in the stomachs of dead dugongs that have washed up on shore. They've eaten sea squirts, which are in the bottom picture, as well as sap. The top picture on the page shows how a dugong uses its mouth to eat seagrass up off the floor. It takes the grass and takes it up by its roots. The way that they eat and what they eat, the algae, the worms, all of that are found on the seabed, which makes them a benthic feeder. Dugongs dive between 1 and 5 meters in depth and only for around 1 to 3 minutes because they can't hold their breath for very long. They've got a low metabolism and they move fairly slowly, only around 10 kilometers an hour. They are social animals and are commonly found in groups of anywhere from 2 to 200, but these larger groups are usually only found when there is an abundance of food. Dugongs are known to be quiet and shy, which makes them hard to observe in the wild, because when boats will come forward to try and observe them, they will either swim away or they will just dive deeper so that they won't be bothered. They're also extremely hard to be kept in captivity. There is one record of a juvenile dugong being successfully rehabilitated in an aquarium in Australia. And it is because of this that there is little known about their behavior. So, dugongs begin grazing at about 3 months old. However, they nurse from anywhere to 11 to 15 months. Males and females both reach sexual maturity between the ages of 6 and 17 years. Males compete for the females, and this is a 3-phase system. It starts with following, which is where a group of males will follow a single female, which then leads to fighting, where the males fight for the female's attention, and then comes mounting. Mounting occurs multiple times from multiple males, and this almost always ensures conception. It is also this way that makes them polyandrous because they've got multiple mates instead of just one. The gestation for a calf is around 13 to 14 months, after which a single calf is born, and twins are very rare. A female will have a calf every 3 to 7 years. Dugongs can live up to 70 years in the wild, and this has to do with that they've got very few predators due to their large size. A few of their main predators are humans, sharks, and orcas. Dugongs are currently listed as vulnerable by the ICUN Red List and endangered by the U.S. Federal List. This rating comes mostly from human interference, such as hunting, the animals getting caught in shark and fish nets, which can be seen in the top picture on the page, boat and ship strikes, which happens when a boat propeller hits a dugong, and this occurs just from passing boats and ships, but also from tourist excursions to go and see the animals. And then a more indirect problem is pollution, which that mostly just kills the seagrass, which is what the dugongs eat. And it's hard for them to rebound and make a comeback with their population because they have such a low reproduction rate. There have been reserves made in Australia, and these are mainly taking pieces of ocean land that are meant for the cultivation of seagrass so that these animals have something to eat. And then the picture at the bottom of the page just shows bite marks taken out of a dugong that were from a cookie cutter shark. Current research has shown that the dugong population in certain areas, such as the Great Barrier Reef, have begun to decline. This is due to human interference, such as the items that were listed on the page before, underwater cyclones, which damage seagrass beds, and then also colds. Cold water can cause cold stress syndrome, which can be fatal, and this is even harder because the water tends to be colder at the bottom, which is where the dugongs feed. So they have to put themselves in a position where they could get cold stress syndrome so that they're able to eat. To end this presentation, I would like to bring up an interesting fact about the dugong. And it's actually more an interesting fact about how the order Sirenia got its name. The name Sirenia comes from the old tales about mermaids, or more known as sirens, which are mythical creatures that would sing songs and would lead sailors to their deaths. With their human-like mammary glands and then their tails, dugongs were often mistaken as mermaids. So many of these stories from famous sailors who claim to have seen mermaids have actually shown that they most likely saw a dugong or even a manatee. So that's where the name Sirenia comes from, and is what just adds one more interesting aspect to this diverse animal.